Hey guys, Singing here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so every day we've been getting these little teasers for the worldwide celebration, which obviously starting from the very first one, didn't really give a huge amount of way, which is of course the normal way that these teasers go. But we've been getting one every day since then, which is interesting because last year when we were getting the videos of what would of course eventually be the time machine model being built, I think we got one every 2 days, but, you know, by the time we got the second one, and definitely by the third one, we kind of knew by then what it was already. Whereas now, we're getting these little hints, which really aren't adding a huge amount. Now, interestingly, Global actually posted one today a little bit later than some of the other hints, which whilst it seems to start off the same with these things like flying through the sky, the interesting thing is the final part of the clip coming up here now, which is now multiple lights in the sky instead of just the one. Now, the interesting thing is there's more than 7, so it's not just the Dragon Balls. So now I'm really not sure because a lot of the last few hints were all very much pointing towards this being Broly related. I don't know whether this one still does. I guess like when Broly powers up and is like, you know, there's green auras in the air, energy spheres and all kind of stuff. So maybe it's still a reference to that, but that is very interesting. But at the end of the day, we still don't really know exactly what's going on. The people that have decided it's definitely going to be like the thing that they want it to be are still, every single hint that comes out are just like, yup, see, it's this. All of you guys that think it's something else are coping, which is funny because it always happens. And then it will turn out to be whatever it turns out to be. And then a bunch of people who were wrong will straight away be like, well, I always knew it was going to be that, really. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But the worldwide celebration should probably be starting in about a week's time, potentially a week tomorrow, based on the dates of when other things in the game are scheduled to end. But the point of this video here today is to talk about what is going on for the rest of the week on Global, because we had some information in the news today about some new events that are coming out in the next couple of days. We are getting the we're getting a new stage of Super Battle Road, a new stage of Extreme Super Battle Road. We're also getting a new Infinite Dragon Ball History, and we're also getting the DB story, like the Test of Barber story event that has the SSR free farmable Devilman, which interestingly enough came out on JP as part of the Roshi celebration. So with everything that's been going on, a lot of people are curious as to whether we will get one final drop before the worldwide celebration. And of course, the big ticket units that Global are missing is Cell Max, JIREN, and of course Roshi. Now, straight away, I think we can rule out Roshi because even though we're getting this DB story event, remember that Roshi is a brand new Dokkan Fest who has his own Dokkan event. So if he was going to be dropping in the next day or two, we also would have got a teaser in the news this morning with the Roshi, like a new Dokkan event is coming, right? Now, obviously, we could still potentially get that tomorrow, but because with UI Goku, they dropped it 1 day before his release. But for Jiren, they went back to, Topo, they went back to the standard, dropping it 48 hours before his release. So if something is going to release on Global, it is going to be either tomorrow or Wednesday morning in terms of UK time. If you're in the US Pacific, it'll be late Monday or late Tuesday. But the normal time that stuff drops for Global, obviously you would know by now, if you are a Global player, what time banners and stuff normally come out for you, whether it's the early hours of the morning or the evening of the day before. But it's going to be either tomorrow or the day after if something is going to drop. And I think tomorrow we will probably see a data download. So if it was going to be Roshi, we should have got the teaser in the news today with all these other teasers to say that it's going to be coming out in 2 days' time. So the other possibilities is, of course, the Cell Max, which is a big unit that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I am myself, in terms of him actually coming into the game and me hopefully getting him, because he really does power up that Super Bosses team. But this guy is, of course, a unit that, for his entrance animation, you need there to be an artificial life forms or super boss ally on the team. But in order to get his full passive active, where he gets a bunch of extra defense and damage reduction, all allies attacking in the same turn have to be artificial life forms, movie bosses, or super bosses. So the thing is, this is a possibility because if the worldwide celebration is indeed going to be Broly themed, or at least part 1, and of course we still don't know, all the hints could be pointing to Broly, but the theme could actually be something else. Like it could be movies in general, it could be something to do with like revenge against Goku or something, so then part 2 could end up still being Baby, or like, who knows. Even if part 1 is Broly, it doesn't necessarily mean it's movies. But if part 1 is going to be Broly, then of course he is a movie boss, because Z Broly of course won't be on Super Bosses, but he is a movie boss, so hopefully he'll be a big buff for the movie bosses team. And so Cell Max coming out right before him makes sense for all the Super Bosses buffs that we got during the anniversary, but also makes sense for Broly being related to the worldwide celebration. Now of course the other thing that could potentially come out is going to be the other big LR that we're missing, which is Jiren. And of course, considering that we've already got Tech UI Goku early, which is Tanabata content, and this guy is the part 2 LR from the Tanabata celebration. We also have Topo as the latest released Dokkan Fest on Global, and of course they are related, right? They're both Pride Troopers, they're both on the Universe 11 team, Jiren's on UI Goku's team. So both of these guys coming out, if something is going to drop right before the worldwide celebration, does make sense. Like, they both fit the theme. Cell Max because he follows on from the anniversary content and leads into Broly potentially. Jiren because, you know, Topo, UI Goku, Tanabata content. Like, that all makes a lot of sense. The only thing is, like, is anything even going to drop this week? Like, we don't know. We got these teasers in the news for the Super Battle Road stage, the Infinite Dragon Ball History, the DB Story event. Now, the thing is, as I said, with Roshi, we would have gotten a teaser to say that a new Dokkan event is coming. But the thing you have to remember when it comes to Jiren and Cell Max is that these guys are... Jiren is a Carnival LR and Cell Max is a Yellow Coin LR. But what that means is they awaken from medals that are already in the game. So that's the thing, there doesn't need to be any new events added into the game in order for these guys to drop. So we wouldn't get a teaser that says like a new Dokkan event is coming or a new stage is being added to a Dokkan event, because these guys get their medals from stages that are already in the game. So it'd be very interesting to see what they do. Now, in terms of timing, if we take a look at the news section here from the Dokkan info, this is from the Topo celebration info. And you can see here that the sales for Topo, from the sales that started when his banner started, go from when his banner released, which was Tuesday the 13th at 7:30 AM, if we're talking UK time, and they go until Wednesday the 21st at just before 7 AM. Now, I've talked about this in the past in previous videos, but usually this happens because then, as you can see from the start time being 7:30, normally what happens is the sales end and then 31 minutes later, new sales get added because a new banner is coming out. So this would imply that on Wednesday at 7:30 there are going to be new sales, and the only reason why there would be new sales on Wednesday is because some new content is dropping. So that is very interesting. Now, the Kai banner, which kind of led to the release of us knowing about like potentially UI Goku or Topo, I forget which, does end later, and this is when we would kind of expect the worldwide celebration to be starting, right? I think it will be the 27th or the 28th, but with the 28th being a specific time, also at just before 9 AM. 9 AM is when the JP release date stuff is. So with the worldwide celebration, we could potentially see all of that stuff starting at the same time, being the usual JP time at 9 AM. So I think this is roughly when the worldwide is going to start. So when it comes to these sales, we could see another set being added, just like Topo's ones, that are only there for like a week. And those are for the new thing that is going to release, which is potentially going to be either Cell Max or Jiren. Now, when it comes to the banners, we can take a look here. Let me get the more zoomed out view. There we go. So this is the Cell Max banner as it was on JP. The featured units being Cell Max, the Int Super Bosses support Golden Frieza, which is actually pretty good. The Int Tree of Might Goku. Then we got Android 8. The AGL Goku Black, LR Rose, still kind of decent, can be at least, especially against like a tech boss, as long as he's not eating big supers. The Int 16, he's pretty good with his Easy A. The AGL Cell Juniors, obviously not a fantastic unit, but decent Easy A for our official Lifeforms team. And then these guys back again. Oof, these guys were just featured on, was it the Gamma's banner, I think? STR, God Goku, and AGL, sorry, Physical Blue Vegeta, because it was the STR Super Saiyan Trunks as well, and I kept pulling them on the Gamma's banner with my summons. But this banner, Cell Max obviously is the go-to. The Freezer is good. Tree of Might Goku is kind of LR Rose. I mean, the goal is Cell Max, right? But with that Freezer being featured, that's certainly nice because he is a very good support. I've found that mine has been pretty decent, but having him at 55%, he definitely can get caught out in tougher events. So I would definitely like to get some dupes for him. And remember that Cell Max is a yellow coin banner. So not only is every third multi a guaranteed featured unit up until you've done, I think it's 21 multis, but then there's also the pity coins. So if you go in a certain amount, you are guaranteed to get Cell Max. So in terms of stuff dropping, this guy is... On the one hand, it's a good choice because if he's a unit that you want and he's dropping right before the worldwide, it sucks to have to summon right before the worldwide, but at least you know if you're going in for at least that specific amount of stones, you are guaranteed to pull Cell Max. Whereas, of course, the other option being JIREN, this was the JIREN banner. So JIREN is a Carnival LR and he had a double rates banner. So that could be very interesting straight off the bat. It was the first return of the LR Super Saiyans, who obviously, you know, just like JP before this banner, like these guys haven't returned on Global. The STR Carnival Goku is on there. This guy I've pulled so many times on Carnival banners instead of the other LRs that I wanted instead, the new ones. So I don't want to ever see this guy again. But of course, JIREN's on there, full power JIREN. 16 is on that banner as well, which is kind of funny. Int Topo, who just got his Awakening Easy A and is obviously good with JIREN. The Tech 17 and 18, who actually Easy A as the later part of the Tanabata content as well. AGL Super Vegeta, the physical Super Saiyan Goku. I mean, the Goku's super outdated now. The Super Vegeta, he got an okay Easy A around the Saiyan Day time, but he's not like a top tier unit. But obviously it's double rates, the Carnival LRs are on there. But the thing is, if this comes out as the banner on Tuesday or Wednesday and JIREN is a character that you really want to summon for, even though it is double rates, like nothing is guaranteed, right? There is no pity coin system for this banner. Would be nice to get some dupes for the Super Saiyans. I think mine have one dupe, and obviously they haven't been back since December, so it'd be nice to get some extra copies. But I think, honestly, for me, if it was JIREN, I would probably skip just because the worldwide is coming right after this. JIREN is not a character that I particularly care about, even though the unit is good. Whereas obviously if it's Cell Max, I really want him for my Super Bosses team. So if it's him dropping, I will be summoning. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I say, the news seems to show that with the sales ending on Wednesday, if the worldwide really is going to be starting next week on either the 27th or the 28th, it doesn't make sense for there to just be no sales available for a whole week. Dokkan sometimes goes like a day with no sales when you're transitioning from one celebration into the other, but for it to be a whole week just seems incredibly unlikely. And usually the only reason new sales come out is because a new banner has come out. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Is something coming out in the next couple of days? Remember, if it's Cell Max or JIREN, we don't need anything in the news ahead of time before they're released because they use medals that already exist in the game, which is why it probably won't be Roshi. We should hopefully get a data download tomorrow morning, and of course that will confirm 100% what, if anything, we are going to get, because all of that data will be in there and the exact release time. So of course, once we get that data download and we do know for sure, I will let you guys know. But let me know what your thoughts are. Is something coming out on Wednesday? Would you summon if it was Cell Max? Would you summon if it was JIREN? Would you skip regardless? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. And of course, going back to that new teaser from the global Twitter, let me know what you think that means. If you think it's still Broly or if you think it's something else, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.